All right. We are back for a big one. This is Roundtable Rams, episode number 21. I am once again joined by Billy and Melissa. Buddy's not with us. But we have some bit of news to talk about. A little something that happened. Maybe you've heard about it. I don't know. Maybe this is gonna be breaking news for some of you. Maybe not. But before we get into it, please do us a favor, like, subscribe, share this video. If you like what you hear, do all the social media things. Comment, we'll comment back, we'll talk crap. It'll be fun. And in the description of this video, you will find the official Roundtable Rams site. It's completely free to create an account. Please join it. You can react to articles and this podcast and community posts like it's Twitter on there as well. Please do us a favor. It helps us with exposure. If you like what you hear, you've been following us. Thank you for everybody that has been following us. And let's get right into the breaking news, if you
Yeah,
will.
big old news.
The Rams lost Jared Verse. No, Jared Verse is gone and Myles Garrett is in. Funny enough, this happened the day I was in the airport coming back from my 2-week vacation and it broke. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? My girlfriend's like, what are you freaking out about? And I was like, the biggest trade in recent memory just went down. Myles Garrett and a first round pick and Jared Verse went to the Browns. Myles Garrett came over to the Rams. I said that wrong, but you know what I'm saying. First round pick and Jared Verse went over there. Myles Garrett came over here, and I think a fourth round pick. But
Mm-hmm.
holy hell, what a trade! I don't think anybody saw this coming. I don't think anybody. I don't think Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, not us. I don't think anybody in the NFL space saw this happening. Excuse me. Regardless of what they said, they're full of crap. I'll just say that right now. Nobody saw this coming. Everybody's like, oh, well, they got Ty Simpson. They were looking for a trade. No, stop it. Let's just stop it right now.
No, I remember the way I saw it was I was on TikTok and I saw that picture of Myles Garrett in that blue and yellow, and I was like, who's playing games? And then I saw it was the NFL official account, and I was like, you what? I called my dad immediately because we are very, very strong Ravens fans, and he was ecstatic to see Myles Garrett head on over and out of the North. So I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't. I mean, we all know that Myles Garrett's been trying to get out of Cleveland for however long, and what a place to now call home.
Yeah. We kept talking about the Rams going all in. That has been their nature. They have done so in the past, and they continue to do so. As the saying goes, "F them picks," and nothing rings more truer for the Rams than that statement and less need. And honestly, even before this, the feeling was like they have enough to go back to
Yeah.
the NFC Championship. They're the Super Bowl favorites. All of this to defeat Sam Darnold and the 49ers and everybody else in the NFC. Um, they had enough, in my opinion. But now you really have enough. This is the trade that will send shockwaves through the entire league this year and beyond that. This is crazy. I honestly would have never thought this was going to happen. If he was going to go anywhere, I would have never picked the Rams ever.
No, no, no.
I would have thought he went to like Buffalo, or I would have thought he went to like the Panthers or someone random, like not the Rams. But hats off to Les Snead, hats off to the organization. Um, they said that they essentially smelled blood in the water when things were kind of getting a little dicier. When the contract restructure happened, that's when Les Snead said that he knew something was up, and that's when he jumped in. Myles Garrett confirmed that he knew about the trade a week before it happened and all that good stuff. And here we are. Myles Garrett is now a member of the Los Angeles Rams, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, two-time Defensive Player of the Year. Now the NFL's leading 23 sack monster is now part of this Rams defense that was already good.
Yeah, Sam Darnold is shaken. He is shaking in his
The, the,
boots
the
somewhere
entire
because he's
league, the entire league should be shaking. The NFC,
everyone on the Rams playlist this year is having some kind of terrifying thoughts about their quarterback getting their heads knocked off. But I mean, what a steal. Of course, like you have to get rid of Jared Verse to be able to do that. But like you said, you gained last year's leader in sacks, a hungry guy at the height of his talent and who knows how to play in a tough division. The um, NFC West is a tough one to be able to compete in. And I think he's going to fit in great. He's a great guy, humble. He's going to fit nicely into the culture. And I think that's, yeah, Lesney really, really made up for his little, what most people would consider a blunder in the first round with this one. So, yeah, no, it's a great one.
Yeah. I'm gonna say something controversial. I don't like the trade. I don't like the
Oh,
trade for one reason, and that's because I was a big believer in Jared Verse. I firmly believe that Jared Verse can become the next Myles Garrett. He's not there yet. Obviously, Myles Garrett's Myles Garrett. So that's, I'll say that's a ridiculous statement to make because you have Myles Garrett. But I do believe that Jared Verse was going to become that defensive leader for the Rams. I think he was going to become that cog that they needed. He spoke often about the downfalls for the defense and needing to step up. We talked about this. We talked about Jared Verse becoming the leader, and now he's gone. And it makes me sad because I think that he was that player that was going to take that next step, that was going to evolve in a really, really big way. And now he's gone. Um,
yeah.
I'll say I don't like the trade for that reason because you had to give up that level of player, but it makes sense because it's Myles effing Garrett. You're getting, you're getting a guy that was doing that on a team that was not good for multiple years, and now you have a guy who's that hungry still coming on a defense that everybody does their job very well, and you play meaningful football. This is going to completely transform the Rams, not just defensively, but just altogether. Now you're gonna give the ball back to Matthew Stafford and company a lot more than they were already getting it. So
Hmm.
this is huge. This is huge. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it's so crazy that this has happened already after they got Trent McDuffie, already after they got Jalen Watson, already after they rebuilt that secondary, and now you got Myles Garrett. It's it's crazy. It feels surreal. Like I'm like, what? You know,
Yeah.
I didn't like same. I saw it pop up and I thought it was fake. I thought it was like Sports Send Tree or whatever. You know what I mean? One of those fake
Yeah.
sites where like they
Just
just
some dude sitting in his basement
yeah,
making it up. Yeah.
right. And I've seen plenty of those things where I was like, oh man, they almost got me. It's crazy that this is now the reality we're living in. Myles Garrett. They just showed pictures of him at minicamp in his '95 jersey. It's insane. This is crazy. He's now a member of the Rams. The Rams that were already a Super Bowl favorite. The Rams that already had an incredibly good defense. The Rams that now have Myles Garrett. That's gonna. I don't even know.
I say I like the trade because they know what they want right now and they know what they want for the end of Matthew Stafford's career, or not end of his career, hopefully, but at least his end of his time in LA, if it is as we anticipate being this year, his final year, next year, his final year. Like, if you really want to throw all the chips in and you really want to send Matthew Stafford out in style and you really are gunning for that spot, then why not? You know, Jared Verse was your future. Absolutely. Like, that's the guy that you could have kept around for another 7, 8 years and he could have become, I guess, what you say, the next Myles Garrett. But this is what you want right now. This is what you're building for. Why not go all in if you've got the space to do that? It's hard to say that, like, well, I mean, who's to stop Cleveland trading Jared Verse back in a few years from now? You know, they can get him back, and I'm sure Leslie can find a way to do that if that's what they need. But there'll be another guy, and that's now like what next year? I don't know what the trade is. What is he there? What's the how many year situation?
For Garrett?
Hmm.
Oh, he got a 5 year deal.
Oh, okay. Well, then exactly. You know, he's going to be there for those guys coming up underneath him, and that's the guy that can absolutely train a bunch of rookies up to become and teach them everything that he knows. So I like it. I think it's a great decision. If like we said, the Rams have always been great. What they were missing, they couldn't beat the Seahawks, and that was really it. And I think that, you know, this is really going to put that offense to a test now because they don't have Kenneth Walker Jr. anymore. And you don't know, and he was a Super Bowl MVP. It's one guy, but that's your Super Bowl MVP. And yeah, they've got a new guy in there and they're going to figure it out, I'm sure. But they're really putting in the contenders that are going to stop. Myles Garrett is great for doing that. He's gonna figure it out. So I think that this is a great trade on the Rams' behalf.
It's great. I didn't say that to say I don't like it. I love it. It's the kind of move that like look you're capitalizing on the now, especially like you just said. You're capitalizing on the presumed now final year for Matthew Stafford. This is the move that goes okay. We want to win a Super Bowl. Boom, hit that button.
Yeah.
Now you have the best chance at doing that. And defensively, you know, Myles Garrett always gets double teamed because he has to get double teamed because that's just how
Hmm.
good he is. But then look at that. You got Kobe Turner, you got Puna Ford, you got Braden Fisk, you got Byron Young, you got Nate Landman, you got Omar Spites, you got Jalen Watson and Trent McDuffie, who are fantastic in run stopping, being cornerbacks as well. This is an insane. This was already a good defense, but now it's insane with Myles Garrett. Like, yeah, it's crazy to think what this team is going to be now in 2026, and whether or not people are like, oh, all that just to stop the Seahawks. It doesn't even matter. Like any team is going to have trouble stopping this Rams defense. Any team, no matter who it is.
Well, yeah, because really what it comes down to is can you top the West? Can you be the people that are getting that home field advantage? Can you be the one that's getting that bye week? Can you do that? So, like, if you can win all your games throughout the season, if there's no one who can get through that defense, that is what you need to have happen. You need that number one seed. I mean, they can have it and it may not work out and whatever, but like, it's for so many reasons it benefits them.
Definitely, definitely. This is that move that like people are going to talk about this for generations to come. They're going to talk about when Myles Garrett became a Los Angeles Ram.
And
Um,
went to the Super Bowl and
and went
won
and went to the Super Bowl and won. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
because
this
he sure
this
wasn't getting a ring over in Cleveland. Let's say that.
no, and this is similar to when the Rams went out and got Von Miller and they went out and got Jalen Ramsey. This is the same exact thing, except for now he got Myles Garrett. So um, let's see. The only kind of hang up there could be right now is Myles Garrett now has to change defensive systems in a big way. He was with the Browns forever, who run a 4-3 base, and now he's coming over to the Rams, who run a 3-4 base. That does not mean he's not going to be able to mold to the defense and do what he needs to do, but he had some interesting things to say about it. He just said he's excited because he wants to see how Chris Shula is going to utilize him. Is he going to be just a linebacker? Is he going to be his 3-point stance, his hand in the dirt? Is he going to be a spinner? Where those are the linebackers that kind of move around in a more like amoeba type defense, and then they get going after the quarterback. Truly, it doesn't really matter what he does. Like you have so many good players that are backing him and that are going to get the field open for him to go and just wreck whatever quarterback he sees.
Yeah, I mean, he is so fun to watch play. Like, he's just always do. He's just, and when he had the situation where he was writing on his sleeve exactly how many sacks he wanted, like, that's fun to watch, whether you're a fan of the Browns or not. Like, I can't wait to see what Chris Shula can unlock from him because we've said it, the Browns defense had its moments, but the Browns have never been a cohesive organization that ever really came together. And so if he could do all that on a team where like he really is the guy, he's got so much pressure off of his back now. He can really shine. And so I think his game's only gonna be elevated even higher. And he's the kind of guy who's humble enough to know and do exactly what he needs to do and not be having to be doing more than that. So
Mhm.
I really can't wait to see how his talent flourishes under this scheme.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, it's like I said, it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy to even sit here talking about Myles Garrett being on the Rams. Like
Myles
it's
Garrett is a Los Angeles Ram.
it's crazy, but whatever he gets lined up, he's just going to be a nightmare to deal with. He's just going to be crazy to have to line up against, regardless. And then, like I said, you have all those other defensive players that are just as good. Well, not
Hmm.
not just as good, but playing at a high level. He's going to be able to help Braden Fisk. He's going to be able to help Byron Young. He's going to be able to help all those younger defensive players that may have not found their voice yet, as what Jared Verse was alluding to. And now you get to learn from one of the best at that position, one of the best defenders, if not the best defender in the entire NFL. So
Yeah.
this is just going to mold this team. Well, the here and now they're going to be amazing, and then the future we'll see what happens. Um,
Yeah. I mean, that's what we were saying, right, with Jared Verse when he was calling out his defense, and we were saying, okay, it's your time to step up and be the guy. Well, not anymore. Myles Garrett's coming into the room, and that's the guy who knows how to take charge. That's the guy who's had to be a leader on his team. He's not going to feel any type, but he's 30 years old. He's going to walk into that building. He knows his worth. He knows the kind of guy he is. He knows what he can get out of other people. And I think that he could just be that guy. If that really is true with what Jared Verse was saying about, they just never fully managed to come together. They were never fully like the team that they could be. Well, that this is the guy that's going to make them because he's not playing around. He has not blown up a career over in Cleveland to come over here and just mess around the same way they were doing over there. So he's going to put everyone in step.
Definitely. All of this Myles Garrett news has blown open another potential. This is something that's been talked about, rumored, reported, not reported for multiple weeks, multiple months, and that's the return of Aaron Donald. Oddly enough, Aaron Donald just weeks ago said that he has no interest in playing anymore. He said he's done. He said he's content. He said he's happy. However, with Myles Garrett now joining the Rams, this has broken open the potential that he could come back and could come out of retirement at least for one more year. If you're talking about Matthew Stafford and his final year being the starter here, you're going all in year. Why not bring Aaron Donald back into the fold to truly give Rams the most unstoppable defense ever, if you will?
Ever in history?
Not
More than the Ravens? I don't think so. Um, hey, look, Cooper Cup told him he's not allowed to come out of retirement.
well,
So that's settled.
well, yeah, we'll see. So, with that, reports started coming out. Aaron Donald is he going to come back? Blah, 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 yada yada yada. Initially, Aaron Donald's wife took to Twitter and she said, or X, if you will, and said, "Y'all are hilarious." That's all she needed to say. It went instantly viral, and everybody was like, "Of course, like that's his wife. She's going to know the best for him in terms of like she's going to know what he's really thinking." But then Aaron Donald apparently texted Jordan Schultz and said, "I'm for sure flirting with the idea. Hell of an opportunity with the Super Bowl in SoFi this year. If I can find the fire, it's a possibility."
Yeah, I mean, jokes aside, it's a great sign to see, even from Cooper Cup saying that, to see a former teammate hyping up a member of the now opposition and showing that respect for their talent, like that might just be the fire under his butt that he needs. He's like, hey, I like the sound of that. I like the sound of you being scared. And, coming back and with that team and what you anticipate it becoming, this is all going to be so awful if it turns out that the Rams next year just somehow managed to mess this all up. I'm saying it, right? Because this is what they are expected to be. They're expected to be. There is nothing less. There is no excuse. Talking about no excuses for the Ravens, there are no excuses for the Rams. What can you do now? Now what? Now what's your excuse? Oh, we didn't have the secondary. Okay, sorted. Didn't have the pass rush. Okay, you got Myles Garrett. So there's really no excuse. And I think Aaron Donald's maybe seeing that and he's like, this looks pretty locked up. Other teams may as well not show up to the season next year. And if you can kind of see that there's a Super Bowl on the line, and that's, you can come back, get that ring, retire again. Maybe. I don't see why he wouldn't be flirting with it. He retired at the end of the 23-24 season, right? It's not a huge amount of time. Doesn't necessarily mean he's fit and ready to go, but come in, few
Oh, yes,
plays.
he is. Yes, he is. That dude is jacked still. That is one thing that I will fight anybody on. His workout videos are still insane, and he's still that much in shape. Whether or not he's been doing that just to stay in shape, or be like, maybe I'll change my mind, who knows? But he's in shape. That doesn't mean that he's playing ready, but he's in shape.
Exactly. It's been a year. Been a
But
whole 2 years. Been a whole 2 seasons coming back
so
on that field. But hey, you may not need to be as used as much. You can come on, be the guy that just does a dynamic play.
so this
Unk on the bench.
yeah,
Sorry,
right.
Aaron. I won't. I'm not disrespecting you.
I want to go back to what you said previously. That's really important. All this to if then the Rams don't make it, egg on their face, right? But even more so, this presents a really kind of terrible opportunity or terrible situation for the Rams. So you bring in Myles Garrett, you give him a restructured deal. I think it's like 204 million, 5 year deal. He's getting 40.08 or 40.8 million, which is the shade over what he was already getting paid by the Browns. So it's not necessarily that you're giving them a crap ton more money, but
Mhm.
all of these moving parts, all of these things. Excuse me. Oh my God.
Play
Oh,
elevator music over the top.
I know. Yeah, right. Seriously, I haven't talked this much in a while, so my throat's not prepared for it. But all that to say, this is eerily similar to the 2021 season where they did go all in. They went and did win the Super Bowl, mind you, but the 2022 season, the Rams were not a good team. That being said, there
Just won
is
the whole league.
yeah,
Oh, the year after. Sorry, I thought you meant the 2021. I was
the year
like,
after. No, the year
when did
after.
you say that?
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah. You're
2020,
right. You're right.
2022, they were not good. So that being
Mhm.
said, you have some important contracts that are coming up. Puka Nakua, Kobe Turner, Byron Young, and Steve Avila are all extension ready in 2027. If you do not win the Super Bowl this year, and then you run into a situation where you lose multiple of those players, this is not going to look good for the Rams. This is not going to look good for Les Snead. It's not going to look good just in general. So I think similar to the 2022 season, you have to win the Super Bowl. You have to win because then that makes all of this potential future struggle worth it. Yeah, this could be Matthew Stafford's final year. It may not be, but it probably is. And final year being the starter. He's
At
not
least in
going to,
LA.
and at least in LA, right? So that's the kind of the air that's going around. Everyone seems to think that. I believe that. I think they're going to put Ty Simpson in charge in 2027. But that being said, if you hand the keys off to Ty Simpson and your team is not where it's supposed to be, then you look back at 2026. If you didn't win the Super Bowl, you're gonna be like, well, what the hell did you do all that for? So that being said, if you're gonna go all in, if you're really gonna go all in, which they already did, they brought in Trent McDuffie, they brought in Jalen Watson, they brought in Myles Garrett. If Aaron Donald comes out of retirement, you must win the Super Bowl. Otherwise, what
He's
the
not
hell
coming
is
out of retirement for that, for nothing other than a Super Bowl ring.
exactly? And if he truly believes that, okay, this team can make it, which you already got Myles Garrett. If you add Aaron Donald to that, just I'm not
Put
saying
your
wrap.
second, put
I'm
your
not.
second team in and leave it.
Yeah, I'm not saying wrap it up, but I mean like this defense
Wrap it up.
is already insane, and bringing Aaron Donald out of retirement to pair with Myles Garrett for one season to go all in.
Sounds like a lot of fun
Can you
for them.
imagine? Like we're already talking right now about Myles Garrett being on the Rams, but can you imagine if Aaron Donald comes out of retirement for one more year?
I'm
Ha!
looking at who the Rams are playing this year and all their quarterbacks that are probably somewhere cowering in the corner. Like, no, please don't do it to us.
I mean, it's crazy, you know. The Rams don't have an easy schedule. We'll say that, but I mean,
Nope.
you got Brock Purdy, you got Jackson Dart, you got Bo Nix, you got Jalen Hurts, you got Josh Allen, you got whoever the hell the quarterback for the Cardinals is going to be. You got Fernando Mendoza
Patrick
potentially.
Mahomes.
You got Patrick Mahomes. You got Jaden Daniels. You got Jordan Love. You got Brock Purdy again. You got Dak Prescott. These are all guys that are very good, but at the same time, with pressure in their face, not so good. So,
Nope.
I mean, that's any
I mean, you
quarterback.
take a couple hits from Myles Garrett, and it's so easy to get shaken up. That guy hits with force. He hits with no, he's completely relentless. And so it's completely understandable to take a couple hits and be entirely shook up for the rest of the game. But that's a power. That's a power for the Rams. You know, that's all they need to do. Get a couple hits on those opposing quarterbacks, and you can really turn the game around. It really does, especially when the season's on the line. We're talking about the later games in the season. Like that's when stuff like that, when Myles Garrett really has the opportunity to shine.
Definitely. And yeah. And again,
And Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald, if you add that to the mix, like, I don't know. This is all speculative. We don't know if Aaron Donald, A, is going to come out of retirement, and B, if he comes out of retirement, is he really going to be good again?
You said so.
He will. It's Aaron Donald. Come on. But I'm just saying, like,
I think Ray Lewis could get back on the field tomorrow and be just as great.
oh,
So
I'm
I
sure.
hear you.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I think, what did he get in his last season? Let's see. Aaron Donald. I want to say he got like 7 sacks.
Maybe.
Let's see here. He got 8 sacks. So even if he were to get 8 sacks, you add that to
Combined with 23.
yeah, yeah,
What was it?
exactly.
23, 24,
Yeah,
25?
there's teams that didn't even get 40 sacks in 2025 alone collectively, and you got two players that could potentially get 30. Just them,
Mm-hmm.
just two people. So I don't know, man. It's crazy. This is crazy. This is a reality we live in now. It makes it even more exciting. Let's see what happens week one. Let's see, do the Rams start soft? Do they start fast? I don't know. Is Aaron
Over
Donald?
in Australia,
Yeah, over in Australia, you're traveling. Is Aaron Donald gonna come out of retirement? Um,
he walks out on the field week one in Australia.
oh my God, that's insane. It's insane.
If you're not already excited for football season, Nothing can make you more excited than this.
This has been like one of the craziest off seasons in recent memory. Honestly, it really has been.
100%.
And now just with this, it just pushed it into a whole new stratosphere. Um, yeah, tell us what you guys think, please. Like, dude, are you happy? Are you sad? I mean, I'm kind of sad again
Browns
because
fans, how you doing
yeah, Browns fans
out in
chime in.
Cleveland?
I mean, again, I said, like I said before, I'm sad because I really like Jared Verse. I liked him from the jump when they drafted him. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's going to be really good for the Browns. So good luck out there. I'm sad that he's not part of this the Rams defense anymore and could emerge as that leader that they needed. But now you got Myles Garrett. Potentially bringing back Aaron Donald. We'll see what happens. Maybe in this next couple of weeks, we'll be able to report that that's the case. But let us know. Let us know. Are you happy? Are you sad? Can you not believe it like we can? What's going through your guys' head? Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been Roundtable Rams episode number 21. We will be back next week. Thank you, Billy, for joining me once again. Again, do all the social media things like, share, comment. We'll comment back. I promise. Follow us.
He will.
I
I'm
will.
not getting in no debates with you.
I will. I promise I will. I like doing that stuff. I like talking football. Obviously, I'm on a podcast every week. In the link in the description, you can join the official Roundtable Rams site. It's free to create an account. Please do so. Do all the things. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see what happens with Aaron Donald, but Myles Garrett is now a member of the Los Angeles Rams.